temperatures around 1600 Celsius. These cost $110. They last for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, they look more like this. But we don't just throw them in the bin. Every time you melt the gold, little specks of gold get stuck. These old ones, somewhere between $200 and $300 worth of gold in them. It is well worth recovering. The furnace, powered by natural gas. We set the temperature at 1200 Celsius. Melting point for gold, 1063. The extra 140 degrees gives me about 90 seconds to get the gold out and pour it into the cast iron mold before it goes too solid. You have to work very quickly. The clothing that we wear, steel cap boots, denim jeans, a pure wool flannel top, apron, sleeves and gloves. Now, these are made from wool. On the inside, a layer of Kevlar. They use that for bulletproof vests, among other things. The outer lining, aluminium. Not 100% effective. Get in, grab gold, get out. If you take too long, the 1200 degrees starts to disintegrate the front. However, it is a lot better than the early years. All they got was a thin leather apron. From there we move forward to asbestos. Really good for heat, extremely bad for health. This is a compromise. The room is not. You are in the original melting house of the Perth Mint. Some bloke stood right there back in 1899 and started refining gold. We refined gold in this room until April of 1990. We had 15 furnaces going. Those holes you see in the brickwork along the wall, where the old exhaust flues used to be. Very hot room to work in. Temperatures would often exceed 55 Celsius. A lot cooler today. A, we have air conditioning. B, we have one furnace. But we didn't take the rest of them out so you'd be comfortable. We took them out to get the gold. Remember I said the gold soaked into the pot? Well, they worked it out. 90 years of refining. Surely somebody spilled some gold in some furnaces. So when we shut down, they took all the other furnaces apart, crushed up the bricks, processed the rubble, and got $250 million worth of gold. You look above you to the ceiling. We sent a young bloke up on a cherry picker, gave him a wire brush and said, scrape. It took a week of one corner to the other. From the dust that came down, another $20,000 worth of gold. There is still gold in all these walls around you. But because we're now a heritage building, you're not allowed to book your class excursion and take everybody prospecting while you wait for the gold. While the wall stays down, we leave the gold in there. This is the gold we get out. First thing, shut the furnace down. Then we sweep this arm out and lift the whole lid up to burn. Lifting top. In the furnace, round the pot, out we come onto the table. Pouring tiles are slightly different. Solid back and a hook gives me leverage or control to be able to pour that liquid gold without it shaking and spilling all over the place. When the gold sets hard, or as we call it, goes off in the cast iron mold, I'm going to flip it out onto the tray so you can all have a look at it, give it a wash to clean it up, wipe it off with the towel, and if everything runs according to the plan, we end up with a gold bar. Now, 120 years ago, we did not have all these lights, so the gold pouring is on, we're going to turn the lights off so you get a better idea of what it was like. Now, if that means you need to use a flash or whatever on your phone or camera, perfectly fine. Alrighty, let's get underway. That's the gold at 1200 degrees. As soon as it comes out of the furnace, it starts to cool very quickly. In 1 minute, it will be too solid to pour. You have to get underway almost immediately. Once the gold comes out of the pot and goes into the cast iron mold, the cooling gets a lot quicker. Even before I get these leather gloves on, the bar is solid. Now that it's solid, we'll flip it out and have a look at it. Just grab our little tray. One freshly made gold bar. Now at this stage, we're not overly concerned if one of your teachers decides to run down, jump the rail and grab the gold. 700 degrees does this to your hand. The idea is, of course, get your fingers out of the glove very quickly. Gold this hot is no good to us. Every time you try and do something, you're going to catch on fire. We need to cool it off. We melt this piece of gold at least 49 times a week. We use the same piece of gold every time. And we have done since before most of you were born, the 8th of December 1993. We are well past 65,000 gold pours so far. Now, the gold is not getting any more pure. The gold is not getting any less pure, but the weight of the gold bar drops about 9 ounces each year. Most of which something called an accounting department hopes we get back when we crush the old pots. 15 seconds, gold must be at room temperature, so we can take it out of the water now. Just wipe it dry with a towel. Now we are extremely concerned if somebody runs down, jumps around and grabs the gold. Out there somewhere is a guard in case you thought of it. Up until last year, you could not take a single photo inside the Perth Mint. So up until last year, I held the gold bar like this. But now I know you're taking photos, I'd quite like to be in them. So now I hold it like this. We finish with 6 kilos or 200 ounces of fine gold. Market value today for this, 420,000 Australian dollars. Which is why guards are out in the doorway somewhere, why we have 117 cameras watching you as you go around the mint, and also, unfortunately, why I can't upgrade your payments for the weekend. However, if you'd like to get your hands on gold, you're allowed to, in the vault. There is a gold bar in there you can just pick up and play around. 12.5 kilos worth $850,000. Good luck. That one is different. It's a finished bar. So stamped into it, Perth Mint, serial number, weight, purity. That is the next step along. My job is to show you how to make your own gold bar. What I'm going to do now is put it back in the furnace, turn up the heat, and if you really enjoy gold pours, come back at 11 o'clock. I'll tell you the same story all over again. Thank you very much.